loves, so today we're going to film my 2018 favorites. Luna clearly needs some love right now, but the show must go on. A lot of you guys have been really excited about this video, which I am happy about. I feel like my 2017 favorites was not good. 2017 was not good. Half of 2018 was not good, but we are going to make 2019 amazing, so that's fine. But we are going to talk about all the products I've been loving over the last year, and a lot of them are not going to be much of a surprise, but I'm going to share them with you anyway, because why not? There's so many good ones, and there are some different ones from last year, and some are gonna be here again. I'm sorry, some stuff just is the best always and forever. All right, love, so we are going to jump into it. I'm just gonna kind of go through in the order that I would put them on my face, because I feel like that's gonna help me decipher and it's just gonna make the most sense for me. All right, love, so we are just gonna jump in. Please subscribe if you have not already. I upload videos every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here on my channel. Let's get into it. All right, so I have become obsessed with primers this year. I don't know what it is. Like, I've always liked primers, but I feel like in the last year, especially since there was kind of that change in my skin where I went from being completely dry into being combo. So now my nose is extremely oily. So I definitely spent some time over the last couple years, especially the last year, trying out different primers, and I came up with one that I really enjoyed. So I have 4 here to talk about. These are ones that I have been using for months and months and months, so I can definitely speak on them. This guy is nothing new. This is the Hangover X from Too Faced Replenishing Face Primer. This guy is so good for just like an all-over hydration. It smooths out a little bit because it does plump your skin because it hydrates. I just feel like this one is such a good basic primer. If you're willing to spend the money on it, it is great. I've repurchased it over and over and over again, and every time I have it, I'm very thankful to have it. It's just a good one. It's just a good one. So I don't want to spend too much time talking on this because I know you guys have heard about this over and over and over again. All right, this primer you guys have probably heard me talk about time and time again. This is the Revolution Pro Under Eye Primer and Hydrate. I use this kind of like an eye cream in the morning before I go in with my concealer. I just feel like it really hydrates my under eye. It's just a really good, I always want to say basic, but it is like a really good basic under eye primer. It's not going to really smooth, but it will hydrate your under eye, especially if you're going to go in with a concealer that kind of makes your under eyes look dry. It works so well. I feel like this works perfectly with the Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer and the Tarte Shape Tape, which are the 2 that I use the most. It's just a really good under eye hydrator. Big fan, definitely will be repurchasing again. And probably again. Then there is this one. This is the Revolution Pro Featherweight Primer. This is not really marketed as a blurring primer, I don't believe, but it does help blur your pores. It just kind of gives my cheeks kind of a smoother feel. So I usually go in all over my face, the Too Faced one, and then I do this one under my eyes. This one just on my cheeks where my pores are the biggest. And then the last one this is the last one I go in with. This is the Cover FX Mattifying Primer. I put this on my nose and right next to my nose, just in my oily areas. And I have not found any other primer that works as well as this one. I am trying out the new mattifying one from Revolution, this guy, today. So we will see how this guy performs. But yes, love, 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 love this primer. All right, next we're going to talk about foundations because that is normally the order that I go in. As you guys know, for the first half of the year, I was definitely using the Josie Maran Vibrancy Foundation and the Milk Blur Liquid. I seriously just filmed that video on my favorite high-end foundations and I can't find my Josie Maran one. You guys have heard about that time and time again. It's been in at least my last favorites, if not the one before that as well. And then another one that came up this year, maybe it was last year. This is the Milk Blur Liquid. I love this guy so much. It is so blurring. I have never found a foundation that blurs your skin like this guy. It's amazing. On its own, it's a little bit matte. Both the Josie Maran one and the Milk one are a little too dark for me, so I do have to mix them with Manic Panic Dream Tone. But probably the first half of the year, up until the next foundation I'm going to talk about came out, I was using that every single day, and I repurchased both over and over again because the combination is just so beautiful because you get kind of the glow of the Josie Maran one with the blurring properties of the Milk one. So definitely a foundation worth checking out. This next one is going to be no surprise to anyone that's been watching my channel for the last few months. This is the Revolution Conceal and Define Foundation. I don't think that I have ever found a foundation that, first of all, in summer, F1 completely matched me. It was amazing. I could use one foundation. I didn't have to mix in any sort of lightener, any sort of like foundation mixer, nothing. Just this guy on its own. This is so beautiful. There's something about the finish. It's a natural matte, I believe. It blurs your skin. It doesn't make you look too dry or cakey. It's just the most perfect foundation that I have ever tried. I feel like this foundation on its own was giving me close to the same finish of the mixture of the Josie Maran and the Milk Blur Liquid, which who doesn't want to spend only $12 on one foundation and get it work given? Right now I am mixing F1 and F0.5 to get my correct shade. Today I have like 3 on because I was just feeling crazy, and put F2 on as well and mixed it all together. And I feel like it actually did a really good match. It's a little dark down here, but once because my concealer and stuff lightens my face, I feel like it evens out. I think I just need to mix a little more 0.5 down my neck and I will be good to go. But just such a good foundation. I can't say enough good things about it. Even down to the applicator. I know a lot of people don't like it, but honestly, it's the fastest applicator in the world because you just swipe it all over your face, go in with a beauty sponge and blend it out. I do use mine with a beauty sponge. Today, I just used the Shop Miss A Wonder Blender and it's perfect and it's $1. But I also really do like the Revolution Pro Blend Sponge. The pink one is a good one too. It's probably one of my absolute favorite products of 2018. This foundation, it blew my mind. They killed it. All right, next we're going to talk about concealers, and I have 2 concealers to talk about. You guys are not going to be surprised at either of these. The first one is the Tarte Shape Tape, which I'm sure you guys all know what this looks like, but I will show you again anyway. This is my holy grail under eye concealer. There's nothing that I have found that has the amount of coverage or looks as good on my under eyes personally as this concealer. It is so good. But there is a very close second, which is the Revolution Conceal and Define does come in close second, especially because now they have the supersize size. You can get 3 times the product of the original for $10 on Ulta.com or on the Revolution Beauty website. The affordableness of this guy does make it even more amazing. I do have to go in about like 1.5 to 2 times with this guy to get the kind of coverage I get with the Shape Tape. But honestly, I use both of these every single day. I don't like the Shape Tape on my lid, so I will go in with this under my eye and this on my lid, and then I just kind of blend it all together, and that's what I do pretty much daily. But today I am just wearing the Revolution Conceal and Define on my under eyes because I filmed a 100% Revolution tutorial. So that is what I have on right now, and I just love both of these so much. They're just so good. Like, how is this so good? And how is this so good for such a good price? I don't even know. I don't even know. But I highly recommend both of them. Some of you guys say that the Shape Tape does make your under eyes crease or that it makes them look a little bit dry. I would just say definitely go in with an eye cream first. I hydrate my under eyes every single morning before I go in with makeup, and I just feel like that makes it look much more smoother. And also try different powders with it. There's only one powder that I have found that really looks good on my under eyes, which we will get to in a minute, but I know all of you guys probably already know what it is. Which, let's get into powder now. We are just going to talk about one powder because honestly, I usually set my nose with whatever powder is in my contour palette. This one is not good for setting my nose, just my under eyes and maybe like other areas of my face. But if you have oily skin, I would definitely stay away from trying to set your face with this one. I recommend this for anyone for their under eyes. This is so good, especially if you are fair, because this one is super fair. This is the Physicians Formula Mineral Correcting Powder in Translucent. Sorry, I set my lashes on it sometimes when I'm like waiting for the glue to dry. So that's what's going on there. It comes with a little brush and a mirror. I just leave that in there, or whenever it falls out, I just throw it away. I love using a damp beauty sponge with this for my under eyes. It just makes them look so smooth. It doesn't dry them out. It just gives the nicest finish. I don't even know how many years this has been in my favorites. Probably 3 years in a row. I don't even know, but it's still so good. I heard about this guy from the Taylor, and ever since then, just changed my under eye game. Changed it. This and Shape Tape just changed the game. It's amazing. All right, now we are going to talk about brows. Colourpop definitely stole the brow game for me this year. The Brow Bust pencil is just so beautiful. I started out wearing dark brown or whatever. I think it was just dark brown. I think that these ones have much more basic names than the Precision brow pencils. This one is much more of a natural finish. I'm not wearing it today. All right, so the shade that I use, I totally lost the end of it. I just ordered a new one though. It should be here any day, and I also ordered a new one at the brow gel that I'm obsessed with. But so these guys are $5, and given I go through them pretty quickly because I like to like kind of fill in my whole brow when you could use powder or something else and use it in combination, which most of these Precision brow pencils are made for that. Like the Anastasia Brow Wiz, you're supposed to just kind of line your brow and then fill it in with powder. But I always just use a pencil over my brow. This one's a little broken, so I'm going to show you, but this is the shade that I have. It's in taupe. If you are blonde, or honestly almost any hair color, I just feel like it's such a good cool toned brow pencil. It's hard to see. And honestly, if you look at any of my other videos besides today, I'm not wearing it today because I did a full Revolution tutorial, but I normally have been wearing nothing but this brow pencil for the last few months. Since I got this shade, I'm just completely in love. I was using the brunette one when I had dark brown hair for the first part of the year, and then I just switched to taupe when I went lighter. It's so good. And then I'm loving it in combination with their new tinted brow gels. They're new, they're not that new, but newer. Probably in the last 6 months they came out. I use blonde because I like to lighten my brow hairs. I naturally have dark brown hair, so anything I can do to my brows to make them look a little lighter. I just feel like it's such a good combination together that I don't know, it just can't be beat. I ordered a new one of these too because it's pretty much gone. The only downside is you go through them pretty fast, but they are only like $5 or $6 each. It's hard to see with all the lights, but this is the Colourpop Brow Boss Gel in Blonde. The best. Okay, we are going to talk about eyeshadow palettes and eyeshadows. Now, a lot of these are not going to probably be a big surprise to you guys because I tend to gravitate towards the same brands of eyeshadow over the years. I'm going to start with the one that is the newest, but has completely surprised me over the last couple months. This is the Sultry palette from Anastasia. First of all, this packaging is insane. You guys are probably not surprised because there's always Anastasia shadows in my yearly favorites. For me, there's like no other brand that has managed to beat the Anastasia formula. It just blends so well, so good. So good. Since I got the Soft Glam palette, I was using nothing but that, but I figured since you guys have seen that a lot, I would talk a little bit more about the Sultry palette. There is a tutorial on my channel with this guy. This guy has been the only thing I've been wearing for like the last month. I cannot put it down. I live for it. Of course, my favorite shade in the palette is the warmest one because I normally gravitate towards warm shadows, but I feel like this has kind of pushed me out of my box and I've been creating more cool toned looks and I just really like them. I like that this is still the formula that I love, but it's pushed me a little bit and it's given me different ideas. And like, I really like the look that came out of this palette when I filmed that tutorial. It's just such a good one. This was a gift from my friend Mirna. Thank you so much again. I'm so happy to have it. And I knew if I got it that I would absolutely love it, but I just kept telling myself like, you won't use it. You don't really use cool tones, but I've been using cool tones so much lately, like crazy. Clearly not today, but I did mix cool and warm tones because something a little bit different. But I just love this, love this, love this. The pigmentation on any of her palettes. Honestly, pick whichever one you think is most you. My favorites have been obviously the Modern Renaissance, the Soft Glam. I would say if you love warm tones, I would go with the Soft Glam. If you like cool tones, I would definitely go with Sultry. I feel like those two are the best neutral staple palettes. So good, so good. And then we're going to talk about this one. Mine looks super gross. This is the Revolution Reloaded Neutrals 2. Let me show you what the inside looks like. I even had to repress one, but that's how much I like it. I actually took the time to repress the shade that broke right here. This is just such a good palette. So good. Of course, I love the Blood Sugar palette. I was going to include that one, but I felt like that one I haven't had very long. Given I have only had this one as long as the Blood Sugar palette, just know I love the Blood Sugar palette. It's amazing. It's amazing. But before I had that, this is what I was reaching for whenever I wanted a bright red or pink look. This is such a good palette. I feel like the Reloaded palettes are some of the best from Revolution. I think I prefer them even over some of the chocolate palettes, given I love some of them chocolate palettes, but it's just so good. So there are just to give you some options. I have some, that's my brow pencil, and these lip liners have been on my hands for like 3 days and I have taken showers, I have washed them repeatedly, and it does not want to come off. So this is what some of the swatches look like. It's just a very nice warm look. If you are feeling the red eyeshadow, the pink eyeshadow trend, I would definitely go with this one. It's like $7. You cannot beat the price of this one. And I definitely should have swatched some of my favorites from this one. So let me just, silver in this, what is it? Cyborg is ridiculous. It's like a taupey silver. Ugh, so pretty. And there is Pearl. I'll swatch that matte one, even though I feel like sometimes matte shadows just don't swatch very well. Slate has been a really fun one. This gray, I feel like I think that there's a lot of gray shadows out there, but I really don't have that many great gray shadows. So I just feel like it's such a good one. Just a little bit different. Just a little bit different. And I've just really been loving it. And I feel like I've used this more times in the last month than some of my palettes I've had all year. I'm going to talk about Profusion really quick. I feel like these palettes just kind of came out of nowhere and just killed the game. Profusion is insanely affordable. I'm not sure if you can get this palette anymore. I think on the Profusion website you can. I know it's not in my Target anymore because they clearanced them out. And the new winter ones, the new like holiday palettes, are also clearancing out at Target. So definitely check those out because they're only like $5 right now. But these huge palettes retail for $10. I was so blown away by the quality of their shadows, and I really like all of the brushes that come in the palettes. This one is the one that I've gotten the most use out of. This one is my favorite. Again, this is the Siennas palette. You're probably going to have to go on their website to order it, but it's just so good. This yellow is so good. If you like warm tone shades like I do, like you can't even. $10, $9.99. $9.99. Let me swatch these guys for you. My hand's gonna be so stained, but they blend so good. And like, look at that pigment. That is crazy. 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 I know there are probably so many eyeshadows that I'm just like not even thinking of right now, but these are the ones that kind of stood out in my mind as like which ones do I really, really love over this last year. But we are going to go ahead and go on to liners. I'm going to go ahead and just talk about black liners because it's pretty much all I use. I have these three right here. I'm going to talk about this one. Of course, no surprise to anyone. I've been using this guy for years. There's still nothing that really beats this one. I do love using these two in combination. So this one is the Physicians Formula. The silver one is the Physicians Formula Eye Booster Pen in Ultra Black, and then the rose gold one is the Revolution Renaissance Flick. So I do love using these in combination because I love the blackness of this one. This one covers up glitter. It goes on so well. I am wearing this one today, and I did wing out my wing just a little bit with this one just because the tip on this one is so fine. So as you can see, the tip on the Physicians Formula one is just a little bit smaller than the Revolution one. The Revolution one is a felt tip and the Physicians Formula one is a brush tip. So that is the difference too. This guy just gets right on the inner corner, just wings out so beautifully. This one is so easy to use. This one is close as easy to use. It's just a little bit thicker. So you're going to have to want a bold wing or have big eyes for this one to really, really work for you. But again, I just love them in combination because I do love a bold wing. So the top one is the Revolution one. You can see how, don't mind the eyeshadow stains right now on my hand. Classy Shannon. But you can definitely see how black that Revolution one is. My Physicians Formula one is running out, but I already have a backup because that's how much I love it. So these are both crazy good. And again, together, it's amazing. I like the way my wing looks when I use this one more, but I like the finish of this one more. So together, it's just perfect to get your perfect wing. I know that's a lot to use too, but I do. All right, and the next thing is just a black liner. It's from Colourpop. It's their liner in Swerve. So nothing really special about it. It's just a really good liner. I use it pretty much every day to just kind of color in the outer corner of my lower lash line because I like to do that because I wear a wing almost every single day and I feel like it just kind of connects it. I'll swatch it for you, but again, it's not really anything special. It's just a black pencil liner. But the way it stays and the way it looks, it just blends out beautifully. It's just such a good one. And I also will use this guy to line my upper waterline because I feel like it's comfortable. It doesn't bother my eyes at all. And because it's a twist up one, it's more comfortable than it would be for a pencil one. You're never going to have like slivers getting in your lid. Like, whew, it's a good one. All right, next we're going to talk about a couple mascaras. These two mascaras have just blown my mind this year. I went through a period of time where I wasn't really wearing lashes on the daily, and I'm still not really wearing lashes on the daily every single day, but these mascaras kind of changed that for me. They made my lashes look big enough and long enough and thick enough that I felt fine not wearing lashes. So the two I'm going to talk about, this is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This one is so good. The only downfall is I feel like I went through it really, really fast. This one is a thicker, drier formula, and I feel like that just really gives you volume on your lashes. What's great about this one too is that I don't have any issues with spots with this one. Even though I have fallen completely in love with the next one, it still does give me spots sometimes. So I use them in combination. I love how I always have to use two foundations, two concealers, two mascaras, two liners. Like I don't know. When you find things that work for you, and I have so much makeup, why wouldn't I just do it? I know it seems like a lot, but it's just what I do. And of course they're interchangeable. I should show you the brush like up close on this one. This is what the brush on the Stila one looks like. Nice and fluffy. The next brush is actually really close to that as well. This is the Mascara Revolution from obviously Revolution. This one is new, but it is so good. This is my second tube that I have gone through. The only thing is when you pull it out, it doesn't really have a good stopper. So you have to kind of scrape off the product yourself, but that's fine because the outcome is insane. All right, so this one is the Mascara Revolution from Makeup Revolution. That brush is just amazing. Only really need one coat, maybe 1.5, 2 coats total, just depending on how thick you want your lashes. I feel like it's been so long since I've had a mascara that you just put on. It's just like, bam, your lashes are there. They're thick. They're voluminous. They have arrived. So this is just a really, really great one. And I honestly, again, I use both of these together every single day. Next, I'm going to talk about some liquid glitters. This probably should have been more with the eyeshadows, but that's fine. Two of the ones that I have really, really been loving over the last year are, of course, the Stila ones. This one is Diamond Dust. This is totally just destroyed. Mine's pretty much dried out. I can still get some out of it, so you'll be able to see what this one looks like. This is the one that I was wearing all of the time, all the time. I kept this in my everyday makeup caddy in case I wanted a pop of glitter. I just feel like it's the most perfect, simple, just like pop of glitter, and it's so easy to use. These are just completely revolutionized glitter for the eye. The fact that you can just like even take the applicator that it came with is insane and just pop it on. I honestly just will do my base look and then just tap on the glitter, and sometimes I'll blend it out with my fingertip, but most of the time I can just blend it out with this little applicator that it comes with. And then the next one we're going to talk about are the fairy lights from Pixi. This one is Bare Brilliance. This is one of my absolute favorite glitters I've ever used on my eye. I used this on an Instagram live and I was just completely blown away. Look at that right there. There is a pigment underneath it, so it does have kind of a base color, and then just the glitter in it is so beautiful, so reflective. I can't. Look at that. They are just insane, insane. I felt like I couldn't really do a yearly favorites without mentioning both of these. So there is a closer up look. Sorry my Stila one is so destroyed, but I just love it so much. I can't help it. Why don't we talk about contour next? You guys are not going to be surprised by either of these at all. You guys know how much I love Revolution contour palettes. They are my absolute favorite. I feel like there's nothing that beats it. Like I have not found, like I'll go back and forth through some other products, but I've just kind of given up and been like, okay, the Revolution palettes are where it's at for me. They just work for me. These two are my favorite right now. This is the Revolution Ultra Contour Kit. This is my second one. You guys have seen this guy forever, for years. Look at this thing. Completely, completely destroyed. But I just love the contours in here. I love the highlights in here. Mixing these two is just beautiful. I love using this for an inner corner highlight. These are just so good. So good. And then I love this. I'll use both of these. This one's a little bit yellow for me, but you can't even see what that is. It was just kind of a beigey powder in there to use to like set your face or highlight, but they're just matte powders and I would always use these guys to set my nose. But I just love this contour palette. Honestly, any of the Revolution contour palettes are good. I have loved them all. And then the next one we're going to talk about is the Emogination Highlight to the Moon palette. It's called a highlight palette, but it's definitely got contours in there. So this kind of covers both because I love the highlights and the contours in here. And again, this guy is my favorite for setting my nose and my chin or any areas on my face that's not my under eyes. I haven't tried setting my under eyes, but I just have a powder that I like using, that Physicians Formula powder for my under eyes more than anything. But this is just such a good, solid palette. If you have, I would say up to medium skin, this is going to be great for you. If you were fair, it's going to be great. And I love that the Revolution contours they work for fair skin, which is really hard because so many of them are so warm toned, but Revolution just does a really good job of keeping them more neutral, or at least giving you more neutral or cool toned options. So I just feel like these are so good. Again, this is what I have as a contour today. I have so many highlights and blushes and stuff on my cheeks, so it's hard to see, but I absolutely love this one. All right, next we're going to talk about blushes, but we'll start with this one. This blush I got, I think, in a BoxyCharm, and I absolutely fell in love with it. It's so beautiful. This is from Laura Geller. This is the Baked Blush and Brighten in Tropic Hues. I like that the packaging comes with a little mirror. I have used this so many times, and there's not even a dip in the dome of the blush. It's just such a beautiful peachy pink shade, and it's got a nice bit of a glow to it. It just kind of made me fall back in love with blushes. I don't know what it was. I just picked it up one day after getting it in my beauty box and I was like, it's really pretty. And then the next ones we're going to talk about are the AOA Studio. These guys are $1 from shopmissa.com. I can't find Ravish. Ravish looks a lot like this one from Laura Geller. So if you really like this blush and you don't want to spend the money, I would definitely recommend Ravish from Shop Miss AOA Studio. This one right here is Golden Apricot. I love all of the ones I have tried of these blushes. They are so glowy. So you have to really like glowy skin and glowy blushes. Right. Ooh, so pretty. They actually look a lot. They look pretty close. The Golden Apricot one's got more gold in it, but that's what those look like right there. So pretty, and I just love the Lumi blushes so much. A lot of you guys comment on my skin when I'm wearing them and say that I look like I'm glowing from within, but really it's just the blushes. They're just amazing. Okay, I have a handful of highlights here. I'm just going to, I guess we'll start with my absolute favorite because you guys are not going to be shocked by this at all. This highlight just like came out of nowhere this year. I don't know, Show Globe, ugh, so good. So good. This highlighter used wet, like with a dampened brush, is the most beautiful metallic pricey highlighter I have ever seen. I didn't really like loose highlighters before this guy. There's only one that we'll talk about in a minute that really got me started on liking loose highlights. So I will just take any sort of setting spray. This is the Hyaluronic Fix from Revolution, and just spritz the brush. Look at that though. Look at that glow. You can't beat it. You can't. 6 highlights on my face right now, guys. So definitely number 1 highlight this year was Strobe Globe. No questions about it. Pearl Lights from Revolution. This is in Peach Champagne. This is the first one that I was like, okay, I'm gonna give this whole loose highlight thing a go. It's more of a pinky. This one is Strobe Globe and this one is the Revolution one. So it's kind of more of a pinky, pearly one, even though it's called Peach Champagne. So that one, so beautiful. Highlighters. I'm going to talk about the AOA Studio Paleters. These are so beautiful. This one right here is Moonbeam and then Astro. I love them both. It's everywhere. So the only thing is these are messy, but the outcome is just so worth it. Look at that. That might be more metallic. It is more metallic than Strobe Globe. Holy crap. It looks kind of pearl. Wow, once you wet it, it goes from completely peachy to much more pearl. I guess I never really noticed that before and just thought it looked kind of peachy. Maybe on my cheeks it appears more peachy. I don't know. So that one right there, that's Astro. So then this one is like a white with all different glitters in it. I'm hoping that you can see the glitter, but it definitely does appear glittery on the face. All of the other ones are more of just metallic sheens, and then Moonbeam is definitely glittery. And then the last highlight I'm going to talk about is also another one from Shop Miss A. This is one of their halo highlights in Blissful. This guy is so pretty. This guy I will apply either dry or wet. It doesn't really matter. It's beautiful both ways. It's right down here. It's a little bit more of a natural one, but if you do layer it up and apply it damp, it is going to be much more in your face. That's all the highlights. I could go on for forever. You guys know how much I love highlights. They're my favorite thing. I feel like Ombrizi should have been in here too. All right, now we're going to talk about lips. I'm a little bummed because I cannot find my favorite red lip. I don't know where it went. This room has eaten it. I just spent a good half hour looking for it. Can't find it anywhere. But honorable mention to Wig from Colourpop. It's the bright red one from the Bretman Rock collection. I absolutely love that red so much. I'll try and insert at least a picture of me wearing it because that I can do. Just the most perfect red ever. But let's talk about ones that I do have sitting here. So a lip liner I want to talk about is the Chauffeur lip liner from Revolution. I know you guys are not going to be surprised at all about this because everything Chauffeur I love. So I know you guys are not shocked because I always love everything Chauffeur. It is just the most perfect rosy nude ever. The lipstick that I've been using nonstop is Natalie from BH Cosmetics. It's one of their liquid linens. This is just the most perfect cool tone nude, and it's actually pale. Sometimes I will still mix like a concealer or something lighter with it just to get like a super pale nude because I am so fair. It's really hard for me to find nudes that are fair. It looks not like what I'm wearing, but this is not what I'm wearing. Natalie is like my favorite nude ever right now. Then this is from Jeffree Star. This is Skin Tight. This one turns a little too pink on me, so I do have to mix a concealer with it so it's a little more nude and a little less pink because me being so fair, it turns super pink. But it's a really pretty one. I really like I'm Nude as well, but really the formula of the Jeffree Star lipsticks cannot be beat. Like they are still my absolute favorite. They last the longest. They look the best on my lips. They kind of smooth them out. I know some people don't enjoy Jeffree Star, but I can't deny that his products are amazing. And then another red that I really enjoyed was another BH Cosmetics liquid linen. This one I think is in Maria. So this one is actually really close to Wig. So if you can't get Colourpop, this one's really close. It's not quite as dark as Wig is. And I like Wig a little bit more. Wig is an ultra satin. I love BH Cosmetics liquid lipsticks and liquid linens. They're both amazing. Is that everything? Is that everything? All right, love. So this video could be 1,000 years long and I can go on and on, but I think I'm going to leave it there because I feel like that kind of covers everything. I think it covers everything pretty much. Let me know your guys' top 5 favorite products from 2018 or share whatever with me that you would like to down below. I hope you guys have a really wonderful 2019. I just want to thank you guys so much for remaining here with me throughout 2018. 2017 and the first part of 2018 were extremely hard for me, and it's been such a year, and there's been so much change, in my life, and a lot of it has been for the better. A lot of it has been good, and as you guys know, my sister is doing extremely well, so that's great. I mean, I left my job of 15 years. I am on this new journey, and like life is just it's good. It's good. It's scary, but it's good. Oh, I don't want to get emotional. But you guys have just remained there with me, and just know how much that means, and all of your sweet comments all the time. Like, I get through periods where I'm really stressed out and I don't want to read the comments. Usually, like during finals week, like I could not catch up on comments because I could not bring myself to go look, because you know when you're just so stressed out and you're like, if someone says something mean, I'm just gonna be pushed over the edge. Just this last year, it's been a lot. I'm really excited for 2019. I am so excited to finish my last 2 quarters of school and see where this journey takes me. I know things are going to continue to be a little rough for a while because, as you guys know, again, for the 1000th time, I'm in school. I just really have to watch what I'm spending right now. But you guys have remained here, and any sort of content that you guys want to see, of course, what do you want to see in 2019? Leave it down below. I would love to make as many videos as you guys want to see, because that's what it's all about. It's all about what you guys want. I make these videos for you, and obviously I enjoy doing it. That's why I'm still here doing it, and I've been on YouTube for 5 years now, and it's just crazy. But I'm excited to bring you guys new content. I did get a vlog camera for Christmas, so vlogs will be coming. I'll try and get some footage at school. I'm not sure. I don't want to, like, you know, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But let me know what kind of vlogs you want to see. If you guys want just like shopping vlogs where I just like go to Sephora, let me know. Yeah, but thank you again so much for being here through the last year and staying with me through all of these transitions and all of these changes. And it's so weird. I feel like I've completely changed, but I also feel like I've also become who I once was again. Anyway, here's to a wonderful 2019. We can do this. We can do this. I hope you have a beautiful year. I hope I have a beautiful year. We're all stronger than we ever realized. Just know that. And you are more loved than you ever realized. Okay, well, I'm going to stop being emotional because I will cry if I keep going on, but I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you again for staying with me over this last year. And I will talk to you soon. Bye. How? You, what? Is this how we're going to film? Just like this? She's trying to get my hoop. You can't have my hoop. No hoop. It's fine for the intro, but she's literally, I'm not even hanging on. You're not a parrot. Do you think you're a parrot? It's not very ladylike, Luna. Yeah, so we're just gonna jump in. Please subscribe if you have not already. This video is already a mess. So I spent a lot of time over the last couple videos. I don't know, but this is the Merc. So the affordable of it. I set my nose with the Profusion is a C. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Queen has graced us with her presence. Wow. It's a rare sighting of the Queen.